What's going on? We back. Motor City Sports Talk. We in the building. And kind of a carryover from the last video, man. I think it's time for the Detroit Lions to draft a quarterback of the future. Yes, I'm not happy with Matthew Stafford right now, but it's not for the reasons everybody would think, all right? The reason I would like the Detroit Lions to draft another quarterback is because the backup quarterback situation is hideous, okay? Matt Castle, we probably be 0-16 with Matt Castle, all right? Let's just keep it real, right? And one thing we talked about in the last video, we were talking about Nathan Peterman, is how, Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia have failed at picking up on some of the better parts of the Patriot way, all right? They failed on that. And one of the better parts of the Patriot way was the ability to stockpile quarterbacks, okay? Usually the Patriots, I know about this year, but usually they got some promising quarterbacks in the chamber, okay? It may have been Matt Castle, who I think they got like a second-round draft pick from Kansas City from years ago. Jacoby Brissett, they traded him to Indianapolis, which I think they wish they should have kept him at least. Jimmy Garoppolo, they got a second pick out in 49er land. Even Ryan Mallett, who had some type of promise before. Brian Hoyer, who was a formidable backup in this league. Shit, Tom Brady was Drew Brees' backup, and they built him up and was able to get, Drew Bledsoe, that's his backup, got him up out of there. So I think it's time for the Lions to draft a quarterback of the future, or a quarterback that they can get assets for in the future. It's time for them to at least have two quarterbacks behind Matthew Stafford. May it be a veteran quarterback and a young developmental quarterback, or two young quarterbacks, one that's promising, one that's maybe the first, second, third, fourth round variety, and maybe a developmental quarterback from a mid-major school that got some ability, or that might be mobile, that got some things you can coach up and fine-tune them as well. And, if they do well and Stafford is still doing well here, or doing formidable, whatever you want to say about Stafford, then you can move them and acquire draft picks for him and get assets for him. If not, then you got a quarterback of the future. It's time for the Lions to think about, some stability behind Matthew Stafford, because he's getting in his 10th year. He can't be Iron Man forever. Everybody can't be Brett Favre. Everybody can't be Eli Manning. All right. Everybody can't be Peyton Manning the first half, more than half of his career. All right. It's time for them to find a formidable backup quarterback. It's time for them to find a formidable veteran, a Sean Hill type, but also they need a young type of guy like Garoppolo where they can develop. Even if they got to fuck around and take them in the first, second, third round or something like that, think about it this way. It provides stability behind Stafford. You ain't got to worry about Orlovsky running out the back of the end zone. You ain't got to fear, Matt Castle coming in or whoever else coming in. You got it fixed, and you can build that guy out. And it ain't like, he coming to take Matthew Stafford's job. You just telling Stafford, like, look here, man, if you go down, we ain't got nothing behind you. So help the young fella out. And if you're still going strong, we'll move the young fella before it's time to pay him, and we acquire a draft pick for him. It's time for the Lions to start thinking that way in the Patriot way. If you got to get two young quarterbacks, one guy from McKee State or from some Delaware State Division II team, or a guy that you really, really like, you just got to develop and just didn't have the development in college, or somebody that broke his leg in the draft and didn't get to work out. You take one good prospect high in the draft from the first rounds 1 to 3 or 1 to 4. Then you find somebody 6th, 7th round and take them, and you take them to 6th, 7th round guy. Could be on the practice team. Ain't nobody looking at him. You can develop him on the practice squad. The second round guy, the higher draft pick guy, you can develop him. You can use him on the scout team. You can give him some pointers. You can start honing his skills now, because it's time to start thinking, what if Stafford get hurt? It's time to start thinking for the future. Obviously, we know Stafford got 4 more years in this monster extension, but what if he go down? You got a cheap, now it's an NFL rookie pay scale now. You ain't got to pay these guys a lot. You ain't got to. If you up top of the draft this year, you see a quarterback you like, you think you could develop them, whatever you may do, you take them. Franchise quarterbacks come a dime a dozen. I'm not in favor of drafting a quarterback if they get in the top 5. You know, but if it's a guy that you feel like you can't miss on, well, you got to take talent over something else, because history tells us the Lions need more than the pass rusher, or more than the receiver, more than the running back. You know, you can take that guy and you can draft him. You get more draft picks for him. You can take him and keep him, develop him. And in 3 or 4 years, you know, you can, or 2 years, you can trade him, or you can get rid of Stafford after 3 or 4 years. But right now, it's time for the Lions to think about the future of the quarterback's position behind Matthew Stafford and in front of Matthew Stafford. It's time, because right now he's taking a lot of hits. And Sunday, without Marvin Jones, I don't know if he's going to make it out the game. Carolina's a very physical defense. You know, if Stafford goes down right now, you know, what do the Lions got? Nothing. Matt Castle not going to win no games. All right? So a lot of people won't get in their feelings probably about this video, but this is some serious stuff. What if Matthew Stafford injured himself in the season, he out to the beginning of the next season? You know, what if he injured himself in camp next year and you got Matt Castle? You know what I'm saying? You're going to go out there and sign Nathan Peterman? You're going to go out there and get Jay Cutler? You know what I'm saying? No, it's time for the Lions to think about drafting a quarterback for the future of this franchise and get stability behind Matthew Stafford. I go too. I bring a veteran in, better than Matt Castle. That's him. But then I get 2 young quarterbacks in the draft, 6th, 7th round, and somebody in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or 4th. I'm more of the 3rd or 4th round variety. But if you got a guy you really like up top, you know, you can't put a price on good quarterback play. And if you develop him and Stafford is still playing at a high level 3 or 4 years down the line, and you want to extend Stafford, you trade him and get a high pick for him. You know, that's what the Patriots been doing. You know, but let me know what y'all think about this, man, in the comment section. I'd love to hear from y'all. Motor City Sports Talk, your boy CJ Goodfella. And hopefully you enjoying the videos we dropping on this good Saturday. The Pistons don't play today. The one day I got time to sit down and watch some of their games, they ain't playing. But remember, we on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Want to make a donation to the page? That link's in the description as well. Love to hear you guys rebuttal. I definitely appreciate everybody. We passed 2,000 subs. Let's get to 3,000. I appreciate it. We gone.